Hello everyone, hi, Hem here, your life coaching mini tips. So as you know, I'm a self-love coach, a spiritual coach and a life coach, and something's come up recently that I think may help you all. Now the thing is, I've noticed that most of my clients that have come to me over the past, and actually something that happened quite recently, showed me that many of us maybe don't know what we want to do with our lives. Now, this is a strange phenomenon. Some people in their 30s, 40s, and even 50s are still struggling with where they want to go and who they want to be. Now, I'm going to talk today about the ways that you can find out maybe what would really motivate you, what would be good for you, and how you can create the life that you love, Okay, so let's start small. Let's start with the first thing you need to. There are 3 areas you need to consider to understand why you may be feeling disenchanted or not happy in a role that you're doing, right? The first one is, and this one's a really strange one because people say it all the time, and I used to say it in coaching even, and even before coaching. I always used to say to people, well, what did you want to do when you grew up? What do you know when you were little and you were a little small you, your mini version of you, right? And you say to people, well, I want to be a dancer, or I want to be an astronaut, obviously the astronaut one. Well, hey, however, let's think back to those things. What did you want to do when you were younger? What did you aspire to? I always wanted to write books. You could see that with me, right? And I always wanted to use my voice. You can see that with me as well. But those things always came out in things like, I'd like to write a book, or I'd like to speak on a stage. I always just say I want to be on television. What it is although those things may be what you want to do, like you wanted to be an astronaut, you wanted to be a dancer, or you wanted to be, I don't know, most people don't aspire to politics, I have to be honest. But they don't normally, depending on what kind of side of the fence that they grew up on, right? But what it is to look at the traits of that career. What are the traits of that career that you like? What are the things within that career that really pull you? Why was astronaut exciting to you? What about being an astronaut excited to you? What about, say you wanted to be a pilot. What about being a pilot excited you? Why did you choose that as the thing you wanted to do? Were you interested in the mechanics of the plane? Were you interested in going to different destinations? What were you interested in? Now, the reason I say this is because if you can hone it down to the things that you're interested in, you can create work or life fulfillment from doing something that is just like that. Not necessarily that, because I guess if you're in your 40s or 50s, maybe not 30s, I don't know how astronaut works. Maybe you need to be younger. But maybe you can't do it now, but it doesn't mean you can't do something that will fulfill that desire within you to do that. Yeah? Now, the next thing is, look at your jobs that you've held over your lifetime, right? So this is tip 2. This is area 2. In the second tip, it's what jobs did you gravitate towards, and what jobs that you had. Mostly we tend to concentrate on the things we didn't like within our jobs. Now, there's always going to be something you did like within your job. What did you like within your jobs? What did you want to do more of? I absolutely loved making phone calls to find out what people, what they were querying, so they could email me, and I didn't really want to write them an email back. I wanted to hear their voices. I wanted to hear what they felt like because of my empathic side, so I wanted to feel it first. Then I was happy to write them all the emails in the land. But for me, it was that. So what did you gravitate towards in your job? Did you like, I don't know, say you were doing a job as a nurse, but you didn't stay in that job. What was it you did like in that job? Say you were a teacher, for example. Everyone seems to leave teaching, and I was a teacher, actually, a school teacher. So what was it you liked within that job? So for me, it would have been, I loved writing stuff down. There you go, writing again. I loved notations. I loved researching things. I loved understanding the nitty-gritty behind it. So it's about looking at the things that you've done, looking at what inspired you around those things. So say you worked in a bank, for example. but you didn't like the job, it didn't seem to really lend itself to you, but there were little bits of it you liked. Which were the parts that you liked? Was it the number? Was it working with number? But it wasn't doing all the customer service, maybe. Find your niche. You see, your niche, your thing that will fulfill you is the thing that you liked the most. So you take the first area, what will fulfill you most. You take the second area, find what was fulfilling to you, start putting them together. You're building up a picture of the real life that you want to live and the real career that you want to have, right? So now that leads us into the third one. The third one's a little bit, but it really does show us who we want to be. Okay, I'm really like drum roll, maybe not drum roll, maybe like, ooh, because it's an interesting one. For many of us, the clues that we get in life come through maybe envy or jealousy. They're not the greatest traits, I admit, okay? However, envy or jealousy can actually be a real indicator of what you want to achieve in your life, what you want to do in your life, yeah? So you see people and you think, they're doing that and I really, really don't know why they're doing it and I don't really like it. But actually, there's something inside you that may, like a glimmer inside you that actually wants to try that out, wants to do that, but you're shying away from it. Maybe you put a belief around it. People who do that are lazy, or people who do that ask too much money of people. Be wary of those little things that you do to self-sabotage yourself for the things you want to do. I always used to look at writers and go, well, I could do that, but I never did it. I wouldn't do it at the time. There was always a resistance within me, or people talking on YouTube or anything, or doing videos like this. I just think, well, really, come on. Why do they want to be on there? Look at me now. The thing is, I loved what they were doing. I loved the articulation. I love words. I love using words. I love drilling down into what a word means. I love language, and I love the word, pointed word. I love that kind of thing. So for me, that's what it was. So what are you looking at that other people are doing and feeling averse to, right? Because often where we resist will persist, and it persists because it's where you're supposed to go. Now, as I've said, those three areas, okay, you've got the picture of how you can build it up, right? Be aware that this is tiny baby steps. You take baby steps to find out your purpose through using those three levels, okay? Purpose, of course, for some people, purpose is making other people smile. However, we all have to do something that fulfills our dharma and gives us a standard of living. So we all have to do something. And these three key areas will help you to be doing something that you love, as opposed to something where you are getting up in the morning, you're going to your job or whatever it is you do, and you come home and you think, oh, I'm so glad I'm home because the day was awful, I didn't like any of it, and it was just too much for me. Living like that isn't fair on you, because you deserve better than that. You really do. You deserve a good life. Or even if, right, remember those three areas I said, okay? Even if the thing you wanted to do as you were growing up, the things you gravitated to while you were working, or the things that you envy, even if they give you a little bit of what you desire, that's going to be better than not having any of it at all. So there you go. I wanted to bring this out because so many people come to me with this query of not knowing what they want to do. And often what people do as well, and this is a big one, is they stop themselves from doing their desires because they don't feel that they could do it. Remember one of my other videos, and I will see if I can link it onto this. I might not be able to, so I'll speak about it instead. But it's that idea, isn't it, that you're looking at the bigger picture. Remember, we don't get to the bigger picture until we've done all the small minutiae. It's the tiny baby steps that will get you to where you need to be. I'm so excited for you all to try some of these little tips and to see if you can get yourself to be doing what you want to do. Remember, this isn't about Rome, you know, like this isn't about building Rome in one day. Remember, Rome wasn't built in one day. We can't do it. We wouldn't be able to, yeah? Everything that you aspire to will take time, commitment and persistence. And those things will bring you to get to where you want to. But remember, you knew when you were little you knew within your heart who you really, really wanted to be. Take a moment every day, even if it's just a small bit, even if you get to the end of your life and you only did a little bit of that, do a little bit of that and fulfill you, because you deserve it. I really believe that. I really do believe that. Everyone in this whole world deserves a little bit of happiness. There's so many people out there with way too much of it. Yeah, they got it. It's like they own it. Well, no, we all own it. And you deserve it. And I, with all my heart and all my love, send you all the luck and big wishes that you can find a way to bring that into being. Because I want that for everyone. Because that's who I am. That's the kind of person I am, right? I want everyone to be fulfilled, happy, and living in a space where they have everything that they've always wanted, right? Obviously, that isn't always realistic. So get some of that, create some of that, and live in a little bit of joy consciousness. And we're all going to suffer, because the human life is polarized. It has a polarity, yet you can still have love, and you can still have some of the things that you enjoy. Anyway, lovelies, thank you so much for listening. I have loved doing this video for you. Namaste, take care, and I will be with you next week. Lots of love. Mwah, big kisses. Bye. Bye, everyone. Kisses. Bye.